we don't pay attention to it. So we believe that like the beings were real Israelites, but they
let's get ready to.
Shalom, shalom, shalom. I got some. I want to show you guys. The movie Hebrews the Negroes, all right, is out. Okay, and I want everybody to share it, and I want everybody to rent the movie. I think it's like $11 to rent. Hebrews the Negroes. Okay, I think you can rent it on Vimeo or whatever. But he's going to explain He's going to explain to you. Hold on 1 second. He's going to explain to you the Hebrews, the Negroes, in full caption. Okay. 1 second. This is very important. Share this. Share. I got his link and his website. Both his website in the description. So watch this. Share it. Rent his movie. We have to spread the word. Okay. Hebrews and Negroes. It's a movie about our history in the Bible.
You understand? Stop all the nonsense, all of us Africans trying to teach us with that nonsense. We know we hit the trick. That's an interesting. Yes, that's how people say. Exactly. When we had empires, we knew who we were. Phoenicians, and Negros, and we built, and we kept going. And when they tricked us, we stopped. Now we got to take it back. Now, watch this.
Kufuatilia nguvu zetu inafanyika, lakini Mungu alimuumba nazo, sababu zaidi wazungu hawajui tena kama Mungu.
I'm a Mzunga, but I'm not white, and I believe in God.
For someone who's a Shaolin monk, your kung fu is really lousy.
You never thought this day would come, and no, it is not a dream. It's very real. We ain't playing games no more. We taking back what is rightfully ours.
Hebrews to Negroes, wake up Black America. Judah, it's time to go.
You guys still there with me? Good. Vimeo and Amazon. Wait a minute.
Now we gotta take it back.
What was that?
Nah, watch this.
You see that?
kufuatilia ndugu zetu inafanyika, lakini Mungu alimuumba nazo sababu
That was weird.
za
When you pay your tax, it is the world that is
Maybe I didn't rewind it far enough.
that you are a slave, like everyone else. You were born into prison.
I think you guys missed something. Hold on 1 second. That was weird though.
Well, really towards the long relevant. I say last and so as the Lamar to a copy. And yeah, Mama send it. Cigario to Jones. I see what's about. It can be too shalom. I'll be patching many. Seeing the more I don't. And it's a bit of a cave. But set a movie a la show. A Derek se va a cardio biclar local. A dime is the masal. La puerca dos. So many a la rosa. Son sareca macache. Hielo. Mi cabello frost. Ich habe nebenbei genommen die Fishing sagt am Mosche Mutain ein geschlossen gut Corriendo Ben Israel Corriendo Ben Israel Corriendo Ben Israel Corriendo Ben Israel מלדיו המוח מקוצר במחשבות חיוביות אבל אני לא חי באשליה הפולי
You want to know what it is. The matrix is everywhere. It is all around. Even now, in this very room, you can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from what truth? That you are a slave. Like everyone else, you were born into bondage, born into a prison that you cannot smell or taste or touch. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there's no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland. And I showed you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth. Follow me.
Salam everybody. Salama, salama, salama. All praises to the Most High. In the name of His Son, Yesaya. All praises to Tatanzambi. Ya Abi. Ya is our dad. In the name of Yesaya. Yesaya Kongo. Hallelujah. Yesaya Kongo. Yes, I just want to send a special word out to a special brother who goes by the name of Ron Dalton Jr. Ron Dalton Jr. is an amazing Hebrew in America who's doing an amazing work. He's written a couple of books. I haven't read them, but I've got a friend who's read them. But I've subscribed to his YouTube channel, and I've downloaded a lot of his videos. So I kind of see the kind of mentality he has. Ron Dalton Jr. He's the one who wrote the books Hebrews to Negros, and he also made into film. He made from the books. He went to the theaters and they made it into a film, a documentary film. Hebrews to Negros. Now he's there's a part 1, there's a part 2, and he's working on a part 3. He's going to release part 2 in July about Gog and Magog. Bantus, we say Gogo and Magogo. Gog and Magog. Gogo and Magogo. Yeah. Anyway, that's for another day. What I just want to say is, my brother, I respect you so much, and you are an answered prayer, because in this awakening, we know the influence that America has. One thing that the Most High has blessed our brothers and sisters in America is the gift of influence. You see, as goes America, so goes the world. And we know, look at, for example, the culture of hip hop, sport, even Ebonics, the hip hop language and things like that, how it has influenced the world. And we know it comes from our brothers and sisters in America who are connected to us, okay? But we know the influence they have because they live in Babylon and they live in Egypt, okay? They live in modern day Egypt, prophetically Egypt. You know, all the slavery and all the discrimination against them, they were forced to look within themselves and utilize the gifts that they have. So that is why we have amazing musicians from America, amazing sports personalities from America, and those icons that influence the world. It's the same thing also in the religious, if I can use the word religious. For example, look at, for example, the pastors who have influenced Christianity over the years are Americans, whether Black Americans or white Americans. Look at the influence America has in the world. Okay, look at, for example, the Christian channels that are influencing the world today, TBN and Daystar and the Word Network, and all these things are all from America. And a lot of the major Christian movements started in America, you know. So America is a strategic, geopolitical, and a spiritual place that influences the world. And for example, when people speak about the Hebrew movement, though in Africa we've known who we were, but we didn't voice who we were. We didn't voice it out, okay? African Americans or the Hebrews in America have the ability to voice, you know, they're very bold and direct, okay? We have people who are bold in Africa, but I mean, let's face it, look at all these Hebrew camps and how they're so radical and things like that, which is very good. I encourage that. The only thing I don't encourage is you may be bold or you may be courageous, but based on ignorance. So you may voice out your ignorance through your boldness. So that is why we have to mix intelligence with boldness, mix intelligence with mixed intelligence with boldness. Okay, yeah. So anyway, Ron Dalton Jr. came out of a place where, for me, he's an answered prayer, because I interacted with a lot of Hebrew camps in America, a lot of the members, ISUPK members. I've interacted with GMS members. I've interacted with International United in Christ, though their mindset is changing because they've been to Africa. Okay, and I've interacted with some of the guys of Sakari, and I download their videos. I would watch them, and I love them. But one area where a lot of the Hebrew camps made a mistake is they labeled all of us as Hamites in Africa. They labeled all of us as Hamites, so we used to debate a lot on Facebook and social media, And my goal or my prayer was always, who can come up with a documentary that will shake the world. We saw our elder watchman Yahoo and his wife. I greet them. They did some very good documentary called Write It Out. You should check it out, which is very good. I use those documentaries to when you want to awaken somebody and things like that, which is very good. And it made a great impact on YouTube. It's so powerful. Now, I wanted to see if anybody could take it commercial in the public eye, because the awakening must not just be underground. The awakening must also be, we must use every form of media to awaken our people. And Brother Ron Dalton Jr. is setting an amazing benchmark. He's raised the bar to a high level. And he made a documentary / film. The first one was in, I think, December, and it's amazing. And it's coming up in this season of the 400-year period, depending on what you believe in, but it's that season where we are awakening. So the Most High is using a lot of the things that he's doing, which is very good. And all I just want to say is thank you. Thank you for the work that you've done. Thank you for the courage. Thank you for the sacrifices that you do. May the Most High bless you, bless your family and your team, And another thing also is, what I liked about Ron Dalton Jr. is I could identify with him, because as Hebrews, we all have a different background, okay? Some of us came out of the Baptist church. Some of us came out of the Jehovah's Witness church. Some of us came out of the Methodist, Episcopalian, Anglican church. But some of us are Pentecostal charismatics, and we came out of that Pentecostal charismatic system. And I think he's from the apostolic background, and I could relate with him because he's a brother who is spirit-filled, who believes in the gifts of the Spirit, who prays in the Spirit, and he believes in deliverance, because a lot of the people that I used to interact with, a lot of the Hebrews, they were not spiritual. They don't know about the gifts of the Spirit. They don't know about deliverance or things like that. They would just teach. Yes, teaching is good, but we must also demonstrate our faith through the gifts of the Spirit. So this brother came up, and it's great to see, because I was praying for people who can come out of the Pentecostal church, but yet take the good of the Pentecostal church and bring it in this awakening, which is very, very good. And I celebrate that. Number two, I love the humility in this brother. The humility in this brother which is so powerful. And they call him the walking encyclopedia. And this is where I come in. It's so refreshing to see a brother who is on the other side of the island, on the other side of the world, who can speak about Bantu people. And a lot of the things he says are correct. I won't add, I won't subtract. A lot of the things that he says are correct, and I get so touched. Me being from Congo, and I love the fact that he mentions Congo a lot. He goes into the tribes. Being from Congo and growing up in South Africa, he mentioned all these tribes. And I was like, wow, man, this is really, really, really amazing to have such a humble brother who can sacrifice his life. And the other thing that he has done is he has done some very good debates with Ashkenazi Jews, Mizrahi Jews, and I think Sephardic Jews. He did a very good debate with Rabbi Rosenberg, which was so powerful, and I commend the brother, the work that he does. All I just want to say is, in America, support this brother. There are many Hebrew camps in America, and support this brother. One thing about us as Bantus or Hebrews, we don't support each other, and that is what I tried to open a channel. I opened this channel on YouTube. My main goal is to try and bring unity, to try and bring awareness of unity, to tell the brothers and sisters that we're all one body. Maybe you're the hand, I am the eye. One person is the nose, whatever. We may not always view things the same, but at the end of the day, we want the same thing: for our brothers and sisters to awaken, for them to awaken and walk with the Most High in spirit and in truth. That is the goal. We speak about the Father, we speak about the Son. I know some of the Hebrews are not messianic. I respect that. I am messianic. I believe in the Messiah. And I teach the gospel, the message, the message of salvation and deliverance in Yesaya. Some people call him different names. As Bantus, we call him Yesaya. And so yeah. So I bless the Father for this brother. And I just want to say strength and power to you, and may the Most High give you more deep revelations. And we cannot wait for everything in you that the Most High has placed in you that you're going to share with the world. So yeah, Ron Dalton Jr. You can like his YouTube page. It's called Hebrews to Negros. Very good brother. I would love to meet him. I've interacted with a lot of brothers and sisters from America. And Ron Dalton Jr., I respect you. I respect what you do, and I'm so blessed. I'm so touched. I'm so touched in everything that you do, and your videos are a great blessing. Your channel is a great blessing to me. I always keep up with what the Hebrews in America are doing via your channel. So I celebrate you, and salama to you, and then you grow from strength to strength. Salama.
Hebrews, just want to give you a quick update. I want to give a shout out to Brother Jonathan. Somebody tagged me his YouTube video. He's doing a shout out to me, and I think his brother's from the Congo because he says Yisa God, which is the name for the Son of God, or Jesus, or Yeshua. And I know this because I got some friends from the Congo. And I asked them, how do you say Jesus in your language? And they say, Yisa God, Yissayah. And I asked them, well, how do you say, like, the Father of the Lord? They say, Yahweh. And so, and it's interesting because the Arabs, they say Isa. And the Indians, they say Saint Isa. They call Jesus Saint Isa, Saint Issa. And the Muslims, they use Isa, Isa. And Aramaic speakers, they use Isho, Eisho. And the Ethiopian Jews and the Ethiopian Orthodox Church, they use Iesus, Eyesus. And the reason why I know this because I was on pumping gas. There was a guy, he had a long chain with a cross on it. He was, I think he was wearing all white or all black, long garment all the way down to his ankles. And I asked him, man, I said, are you a priest or something? And he said, yes. And I said, what church, where are you from? He said, Ethiopia. And I said, oh, okay. I said, the Coptic church. He said, yes. And I asked him, so how do you say the name Jesus in your language? He told me. And I said, do you know how to speak Ge'ez? Or Ge'ez, or how would you pronounce it? And then he started laughing. But the brother in the Congo, Jonathan, he made a valid point. With the movie, we know that we're in the age of technology. And we know that a lot of us don't read books. They got magazines on the counter, You got tons of books on Amazon. They got bookstores. But our people are so busy with our daily 9 to 5 and working, trying to survive, take care of our kids and our family, that we don't really have time to sit down and read a 700-page book. About 4 books are about 700 pages. And, I mean, that's understandable, but, this information now is being presented to the world in terms of media, internet, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. And a lot of people are getting their education from YouTube, and they're getting brainwashed from the mass media, which controls major advertising and marketing, which influences black people on how we act and what we think and what we believe. This is the reason why it's hard for black celebrities and Ice Cube and different people that's rich to buy black television stations, to buy their own franchise teams, or even their own professional, like NBA or Major League Baseball, NFL. And so, if you can control the media and you can control the magazines and the books, and you can control what is put into these stock websites like Getty Images, iStock, Corbis, Alameda, Shutterstock, then you can control what people are able to put out. You know, if you look at the prices of the images of Getty, the Corbis is astronomical. You can't afford this unless you have a high level budget, unless you got deep pockets. And just a side note, these companies are removing certain photos and videos that relate to uh, people uncovering and discovering the real identity of the people that we see as Jews and Arabs today. They don't want you to see the pictures of the black Arabs. They want you to go finding it and then putting it in books and putting it in movies. They want you to see images of Greek Jewish tombstones written in Greek about the Jews and Latin, dating back to the first, second, third, fourth century AD, when the Greeks and the Romans and the Edomites all converted to Judaism, and they called themselves Jews, meaning that they were not the real people, they were not real Israelites, because the real Israelites had a mother tongue, and the mother tongue was Hebrew. So if you're being buried in a tombstone that's written in Greek inscription and Latin inscription, then you're not a real Israelite, you know. But this is something we don't pay attention to, so we believe the Maccabees were real Israelites, you know. But they were writing it, they wrote in Greek, they spoke Greek, and when they died, they were buried with Greek inscriptions on their tombstones, whether they had menorahs or any types of symbolizations for being so-called Jewish. And we need to pay attention to this because, it's in East Africa, you can talk to some Kikuyus and Kisis and Kambas, and you can say, hey, do you know how to speak Swahili? Of course they're going to say yes. They say, hey, do you know how to speak Kikuyu? And some of them will, but some of them won't. But you ask their grandparents that live in the villages, they best believe they know how to speak their mother tongue Kikuyu. Best believe that, that they know how to speak their mother tongue in the Congo, and mother tongue of the Igbos and the Rubas and the Fantis and the Ashantis and the Eves, in addition to French and German and broken English. But with the movie Hebrews to Negros, I'm trying to break mainstream, and it's not easy because, as we see, we don't have no support in Israel. So when the movie came out in December 20th, 2018, you're looking at 45 million blacks in America. You're looking at I'm pretty sure it's over 100,000 Hebrews in America that profess to be Hebrew Israelites, that go to assemblies or part of the camp. They have their own YouTube channels, Facebook channels, Instagram channels. But when you look at overall as a whole, we as Israelites, we didn't all support Hebrews Niggas movie. I mean, in my opinion, if I'm a hungry, just a woke Hebrew Israelite, and I find out that there's an actual movie that I can purchase and watch showing our true heritage on Amazon, even being shown in movie theaters, I'm going to tell everybody about it. You know, I'm going to tell everybody they need to watch it, Israelite or not Israelite. Whether they're black Christian, I'm going to tell my whole family they need to watch this movie. Matter of fact, if I can afford it, I'm going to send this movie as gifts for all my loved ones and have them watch the DVD. Because that's something everybody can do. Everybody can watch the DVD because we watch, episodes like Power and Empire, Game of Thrones, Get Out, Black Panther. We watch all these different movies. Netflix, Hulu, we watch it all the time. We pay $9.99, whatever it costs. If the series is $19.99, we buy the whole series, the whole episode, or we pay $2.99 per episode. But we didn't do this for the movie Hebrews and Negros. The movie Hebrews and Negros is not. I didn't make it just for it so it could sit in my basement. DVD cases in my basement, and for it to sit on Amazon and not nobody know about it, not nobody watch it and see it because nobody's promoting it. And we all know because of marketing and advertising control that we do have in America, that we're looking at TV channels all day long, but the TV channels ain't gonna tell you there's a movie that just came out called Hebrews and Negros with the Black America documentary. For the Amazon, they're not gonna have the movie Hebrews and Negroes up front and center as a featured rental or documentary or trending now or movies that just got released, like new releases like they do for Hulu and Netflix. They're not gonna have it. Even if you go to the documentary section of Amazon or any of these streaming platforms and you just scroll through different documentaries that's on Amazon Prime or just Amazon period, you're not gonna see Hebrews Negroes movie. Only way you're gonna find it is if you actually search Hebrews Negroes movie, then it'll pop up. So this is how they control how we see things. Uh, you know, but at the end of the day, all these things are important that we get the truth out into mainstream, into media outlets, streaming platforms, Amazon, Hulu, um, Netflix, video on demand, because the important truth gets out there by any means necessary. And like I said all the time, if you ask any pastor the question, does the truth matter? Pastor is gonna just say, Pastor, does the truth matter? Answer the question, yes or no. If you had a test and the test was true or false, and you had to check true or you had to check false, does the truth matter? Are you going to check true or are you going to check false? Because you're being graded on. You can't not check it at all. And of course, the pastor is going to say, yes, the truth doesn't matter. Yes, I will select truth. So don't let nobody tell you that the truth doesn't matter. And so when we read our Bible, it's important that we understand who are the nations. Ashur, Farksad, Aram, Lud, Elam, Aram. We need to understand who the sons of Canaan, Mizraim, Cush. We need to know who are the tabernacles of Esau, who are the Edomites. We need to know who are the Ishmaelites, who are the Hagarites, who are the Keturaites, Doktanites. We need to know who Gog and Magog is. Who is Gomer? Who is Magog? Who is Ashkenaz and Togarmah? Who is Meshach? Who is Rephath? Who is Chittim and Javid, T-Rock? We need to understand these things because when you read end time biblical prophecy in Jeremiah and Ezekiel and Isaiah, Revelations, it talks about the nations that are going to be against Israel, who are basically going to try to wipe us off the planet Earth, back then and today. So when the Bible says prophesy against Gog and Magog and Chris Wash and his bands and Togarmah and all these different things, why would the Most High prophesy against these nations? And why would the Most High use the bands of Togarmah? Now you got to ask yourself, most Christians today in the black church don't know who the descendants of Togarmah is. They don't know. But in the movie Hebrews and Negroes, in my books, I break all this down. They've hidden the history of these people by changing the name. So, today you're looking at modern Arabs, you're looking at Turks, you're looking at Kurds, you're looking at Armenians, you're looking at Chaldeans, you're looking at people in Macedonia and Greece, you're looking at Serbs and Croatians, Bosnians, you're looking at Ashkenazi Jews, you're looking at all types of different people, Persians, Parsis, Afghanistan, Pakistan. We don't understand who the people really are. And so we need to understand who we're talking about there. If it's in the Bible, we need to understand who they are. Who are the Armenians? We need to understand who they are, and and also Gog and Magog, and who are the people in Asia, in China, that are descended from the Han people, the Chinese dynasty, and who were Attila the Hun and Genghis Khan, the cognates, the Khans, Khan, Genghis Khan. The Chinese people know all this history, and if you talk to the Arabs that grew up in Iraq and Iran and Syria, because they live close to Central Asia and Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Bactria, they live close to China. They know the history of the Great Wall of China and the history of Central Asia. But we don't get taught this kind of history. And you best believe the Chinese know the history of the Mongolians and of the Khazars and of the ancestors of the Turks, who are today the modern Arabs, white Arabs. They know all this stuff, and they know their lineage, they know their brotherhood, they know who they descend from. Their whole region of Asia, was infested with the descendants of Japheth in terms of Gog and Magog. But we got to pinpoint understand these things. We need to understand how Esau mixed himself among the nations. And so, in the Hebrews to Negroes movies, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, however long it takes me to put this truth out, people are going to understand who the people in India are, in the Indus Valley region. The Aryans in the north, light-skinned Indians, East Indians, the Gypsies. We also have some ancestors from Afghanistan, Pakistan, North India. Also, who are the Dravidian Indians in South India? Who are they? And who are the people in Sri Lanka and Malaysia and Singapore and Bangladesh and Laos and the Philippines and the islands of the sea, the Pacific Islands, like Fiji and Samoa and New Zealand and Cook Island and Maori and Vanuatu and the Solomon Islands, Melanesia. People need to know who these people are. Papua New Guinea, East Timor, the Andaman Islands, Nicobar Islands. We need to understand all this stuff because Noah only had 3 sons. There's no mystery human beings walking the earth unless you want to talk about the antediluvian man, which is the Neanderthal, Venezuelan man. So, I'm just a follower of truth. I like to teach the truth, and some people get angry because I'm free to teach the truth. And a lot of people say, well, just stick to the Negroes. Just stick to the Negroes. People in America need to know how we connect ourselves to the Israelites, and that's it. And for a long time, people have been satisfied with that. But now you're seeing that you're getting a mass awakening from people in Africa, in the Congo, the Luba tribe, the Kikongo tribe, all the different Nguni peoples that descend from the Congo, Biafra, the Cameroonians, the Babalekes, the Tikars, the Dualas, the Basa, all these different tribes. I'm telling you, Bantu people have a hidden history, and it's coming out, and people are going to find out how it connects to Spain and Portugal with the Black Jews, how it connects to the Congo, and what the Bantu expansion in the Congo was really about in terms of the Israelite kingdoms that were there, the Niger River, the Zambezi River, the Nile River, Mount Rwenzori in the Congo, Mount Kirinyaga, Mount Kenya, Mount Kilimanjaro, all these rivers. I mean, the Bible is full of history, and it tells you the truth on who are the good Israelites. We just need to understand this. And so I'm happy that the brother Jonathan did the video. They talk about, the fact that he really is appreciative of the work that I've been doing, because not a lot of times that I hear a lot of people from Africa waking up and actually getting a hold of my work, because it's really hard to get books into Africa. I've sent some books to Africa, not a lot, but it's really hard to get the movie shown in Africa because there's a lot of movie theaters in Africa that don't want to show the movie Hebrews and Negroes. I've already dealt with a movie theater in South Africa. that declined the offer to show my documentary in South Africa. After people have contacted me from South Africa, told me I need to be moving to South Africa. Even in Ghana, they're having some difficulties getting the sponsors back from showing the movie in Ghana, such as the Silverbird Theater in Accra. I mean, I'm trying to show it there. And, you know, there's theaters in Kenya, and there's people that are connected to Kenya, and the Kikuyus and the Bantus people. And, you know, I've been doing my due diligence, trying to get movie shown in Kenya or get DVDs shown or distributed in Africa. But like I said, there's barriers. There's barriers that try to prevent information and knowledge getting into the Bantus people who have the ancient Hebrew traditions and customs in their culture and in their way of life. That's just the way of life. They are the real Hebrews. And so I like to tie all this stuff in, language and DNA and linguistics and blood groups, hair types, showing the mixing that the Israelites had with the daughters of Ham, which really proves and seals the deal that we're real Israelites. Because in the Bible, nobody can really show the proof that the Israelites spent over 1,000 years mixing with the sons of Phet or anybody in Central Asia. It was primarily the sons of Shem mixing with the sons of Ham. And if you find out who the real sons of Shem are in East Asia today, you're going to be blown away because the people have gone saying that we're descendants of Ishmael, we're descendants of Jacob and Isaac and Abraham. They're lying. They're lying. Everybody can say we're descendants of Abraham. But Abraham didn't populate the whole world. You know, Noah's 3 sons did. So not everybody is a Shemite. Not everybody is a Hebrew. Not everybody is an Israelite. Not everybody is an Ishmaelite. So I want to say a thank you to Brother Jonathan. And if we can, as Israelites, we should be all focused on waking up Jacob and getting his truth out to the whole world. And that being the case, we all should be supporting and promoting people that are putting out books, like myself and Oli Love Austin. And shout out to Oli Love Austin. She just released a book, for the world uncovering the Black Biblical Destiny. So Amazon right now, and it's also on our website, www.propheticwhirlwind.com. But like her and myself and Quete, you know, even with the movie, I mean, the movie is major. You know, we gotta find ways to get the movie seen and viewed by the masses. And, you know, we all need to do our due diligence and stop looking at it as if I didn't do it, if my camp didn't do it, my assembly didn't do it, if I'm not in the voting credits, if I didn't produce it, direct it, or contribute to it, then I'm not promoting it. I'm not making Ryan Dalton any more money than what he should be getting because I need to focus on me. I need to focus on, you know, what we're doing. And you know, we can't look at, we all want to be kings and mavericks and pioneers into who's gonna put out the most books, talk the most movies, who's gonna be at the head of the chain in terms of Hebrew scholar. It's not about who's the top Hebrew scholar, who's the most respected Moreh or king, or rabbi. It's not about that. You know, if you look at, you know, I was watching the Game of Thrones, one of the new episodes, and one of the kings of the north had to revoke his kingship and Benjamin so he could save his kingdom, his people. And he wasn't worried about the titles of being a king, even though he's a true, I think, heir to the kingship. But, you know, we got to look at it like, you know, regardless of which tribe you believe we're from the kingdom of Israel, from the nation of Israel, we got to be operating as a nation and true nation building and gathering the Hebrew Israelites, being united. You know, all these terms, like I said, all the time. We gotta operate like we're really united, like we're really building a nation, like we're really gathering the Hebrews, and like we're actually really being a light to the Gentile nation. Because right now we're not being a light to the Gentile nation. Because the Gentile nation is probably watching all these YouTube videos and they're getting confused, confused with the name or doctrines, what our angle is. I mean, is the angle to enslave all the Gentile nations and have multiple concubines and and all this other stuff, and worry about what we're going to have in the kingdom when we're still on earth. We're worried about how many female slaves and concubines we're going to have in the kingdom, who's going to be drawing on water and cutting wood and doing labor work or servitude work when we're still living on earth in Babylon, going through hell.
Yeah.
And our people are still asleep. And so that should be the main focus, is enduring to the end, preparing your people spiritually and physically for what's to come, and wake up their mind mentally. And that can only happen when you understand your true identity. That's all part of the dividing of the two sticks of the house of Israel, the house of Judah. And that's happening right now as we speak. Nobody can deny it. It's happening in Fiji, in Guinea, Australia, in Africa, in Caribbean, Madagascar, and Europe. It's happening all over the place, in India. And we just need to spread this message and come together and unite. And so stay tuned to the second secret movie, Hebrews 2, Revelation, the Age of Awakening. And you guys will see those who come to the Detroit gathering, the Great Awakening Hebrews Negros Mega Conference in July 11th and 14th. You guys that actually come to the theater and watch the movie at 7:05 p.m. You guys will actually get to see the future trailers for Hebrews Negros 3, the Christmas Israel documentary, and some other movie projects we have from that pipeline. So we're bringing a lot, and I'm not letting them stop me. And the Most High is making a way, and for all those who support what I'm doing, and my message and my mission, and the unity that I'm trying to bring forth with the Hebrews, then support a Hebrew brother. You can. Anything is appreciated. As well as put some date on support links on my website, www.negronetwork.com, and you go to Cash App, PayPal, for funding. So you gotta get this out to the masses, and you don't, you spend over $1 trillion a year into the economy, but the people are very tight with our money, and we don't have money. It's like we don't have a lot of money, and nobody's there to help us. We don't have nobody to fall back on. We have no generational wealth. We have no inheritance, and that's understood. But it doesn't take much to get the job done if we have the numbers, and we do have the numbers. So every $10, $20, any type of way that people can help support, even if it's just promoting the movie, printing out flyers, telling others to go see the movie, telling people in church, telling people if you're the only person in your church to vote, start spreading the word to the people in the church. I mean, it's not a sin to tell the truth. It's not a sin to tell your people the truth. And the pastor can't say it's a sin to tell the truth. All you doing is telling the truth about what you have come into and how you studied the word and scripture. The Most High will reveal to you the truth. So you can't tell somebody the Most High didn't tell you that it's okay to tell the truth, because it is okay to tell the truth. And that's what we're doing today. Black Christian Church, we want you to know the truth, because it's going to be a paradigm shift in how we interpret the Bible and interpret prophecy and the people that we see in the world today, and the stuff we see on CNN News. So I want to say this pray for me and my family and my endeavors. And, always working to uplift Israel, and so you guys need support. So I'm happy to see Africa standing behind these wake up Black America, and not just wake up. Like you say, why is this Black? Why is this America? Well, initially when I first was in the mindset of being woke, I was seeing everything around in America, how everything was going down. But I know how things are being handed down, generational curses to us in the Caribbean and Africa all over. So the book is basically to wake up God's children, the lost sheep of Israel. Which a lot of us are in Black America, because we were taken, stolen from Africa, before that we were exiled and taken captive away from Israel. So from exile from Israel to stolen from Africa, we are waking up the masses, we're speaking out, and we want our brothers and sisters back home in Africa, the Bantu people, to also get this message into sound alarm, let everybody be known, let it be an insight to the nations that we, Israel, is waking up, we are forming, and we are getting ready to prepare ourselves. And the Bible says it's going to happen in the end. All right, that's all my rant for today. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Well, another thing I want to mention, the reason why it's also important to know who nations are, which I do in my books and my movie, is if you look at the British royal family, a lot of people don't know who their true ancestors, what their true biblical ancestry is, and what their genetic makeup is in regards to the children of Japhet, Esau, Ashur. Yes, I said Ashur, but you'll see a lot of different things of these natures and genetic breakdowns in the Ashkenazi Jews, the Sephardic Jew, and the modern white Arab. Now, if you remember in the Congo, King Leopold II was the first cousin of Queen Victoria. Let me say that again. Leopold II, the King of Belgium, that killed over 10 million Hebrew Israelites in the Congo and enslaved a lot of them during the rubber boom, the rubber trade. He was the first cousin of Queen Victoria of the royal family. Now, if you want to understand his biblical ethnic identity, then you have to dive into the DNA of the British royal family and Prince Charles and Queen Victoria and all those guys, Dukes of York, Edinburgh, all that sort of stuff. And you will find how the Bible is very true. It's been telling us the truth all along. We just don't know who these people are because we don't know the true biblical ancestors. But we see names like Germans and Russians and Arabs and Turks and Ashkenazi, Sephardic. We see these things, we don't really understand who these people are. But it's important to understand because when you look at history, you'll see how the British invaded Hong Kong, the British invaded India, the British invaded the Caribbean, the West Indies, the British invaded Australia, the British invaded Tasmania, the British invaded South Africa, Cape Colony, and they also British West Africa, British East Africa. And so when you look at the Congo, you'll see in the Congo, a lot of people were stealing Hebrew Israelites in the Congo. King Leopold II of Belgium, who was related to the royal family, Portuguese, the French, even the Arabs. You gotta ask yourself, why would the Arabs go into Congo and get slaves? That's a far distance to go from the Red Sea, from Arabia, all the way to the Congo to get slaves. And the reason why you know this, because a lot of people in Congo, they speak Kiswahili, maybe a different dialect. Kiswahili, just like in Tanzania, which is the old dialect of Swahili. But some people speak Kiswahili. And then you look at the Creole lingua franca in the Congo, and you see it's a mixture of Portuguese and French and different languages all mixed together. And there's no surprise that in the Congo you see so many different dialects in the Congo alone. It's that one country, and they probably have more different dialects than any other country in Africa. Just ask them about the Congo. How many different dialects is in the Congo? People are speaking different languages in the Congo. But the Arabs all speak one language, Arabic. The Jews speak, English, or they speak Hebrew. The Chinese speak Mandarin and Cantonese, or Vietnamese, or Hindi, India. In America, we speak English. In Brazil, you speak Portuguese. In French, West Africa, you speak French. But as a whole, black people in Africa, we speak tons of different dialects. How did all that happen? We're all the children of Israel. we once spoke Hebrew. Even though today, a lot of the Bantu languages, you see a lot of Hebrew hidden in the Bantu languages. It's still there. You just gotta find it. But that's a telltale sign that the language is how everything makes everything up. Identity, language, traditions and customs, culture, all histories was forgotten, well, not forgotten, but a lot of people didn't know because the slaves were, usually young, like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, or they were no more than 30 years old. You don't never see slaves that being sold at 55 years old or 60 years old. None of the elders were sold as slaves on the slave ships to the Americans and the Caribbean. Look at the slave posters. You'll see they're not selling slaves 57, 45 years old. They're selling slaves that are within a certain age. So they're not the elders. They don't have deeply ingrained oral history, and that's all part of the process. But people are waking up, and we need to understand these things. This is all biblical, and they hid the truth for a reason. You got people in Native American Indian reservations that still know how to read and write Paleo Hebrew. You got people in Polynesia, Melanesia, that have Hebrew, Israelite oral histories in the tradition. And, it's a lot of stuff, man. And you see that widespread, we don't have any unity and we don't have any support. But a lot of the older nations, they support each other. And, I want to tell you a quick example before I get out of here. I was watching a documentary on the Pygmy tribes. I think it's in Congo, and they were all living in peace and happiness. They don't really have a set of laws to go by. To just do good to each other. And they dance and they play and they sing, and so they had a dilemma of getting across this river, and every time they tried to go across the river, there was like crocodiles or alligators or something in there that would eat them. And so all of them conspired and said, we're gonna use these branches and these leaves and trees to make a bridge. And they climbed up these trees and they made this bridge that crossed over the river to the other side. And it took the whole community to do this, but they did it. And when they did it, then everybody started crossing over the bridge, going over the river, and the crocodiles and the alligators looking like, oh, these Pygmy tribes have figured it out. So now we ain't gonna have a meal anymore. Because they have to go through the river and risk things in the water coming to eat them. And they all set their task on one goal and they did it. But in terms of waking up our people as a whole, as a nation, all across the world, we have a problem doing that. And that's why I say shame on us for being so-called Hebrews, and one, knowing about the movie Hebrews and Negros and not watching it, or knowing about it and not telling others about it. And we see a lot of Hebrews going to Africa and other nations. And sometimes I wonder, if they know about the movie Hebrews and Negros, or the books Hebrews and Negros, when they go over to these other countries, do they give them these resources of how they can wake up, whether it's with a book or whether it's with a video or streaming? I mean, people nowadays in different countries, they have the ability to read a book, put a DVD in their DVD player, or to stream something on the internet, like Amazon. So there's no excuse now how we can't get this knowledge. There's no excuse now how we can't get this knowledge of who the real Israelites are to nations. And we just have to operate in the spirit of unity, understand that there is a huge need for our people, God's chosen people, to wake up. And that's all going to be done by promoting and cross-supporting each other. Because we know that if you look at the TV stations and the movies, music, magazines, and documentaries on BBC, that they're not going to show you the truth. And you have, people like myself and Only Love Austin and other people that are going out their way and sacrificing, slaving, and doing tons of research and they're putting out materials, such as books and different things of nature, to wake up a lot of people, because people have been waking up since I dropped the book Hebrews to Negroes. Working up different ways, waking up on YouTube, waking up in movies, waking up in podcast shows, different things, Instagram, and that just sets the catalyst. That just lights the pilot so people can tell other people, start spreading this word, because we really don't have any power in marketing and advertising, because the Jews control all that. We already know the Jews control Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, Google, and all these Twitter and all these different social media, Facebook, all these different social media platforms that a lot of Hebrew Israelites use to promote truth. So, they're watching all this stuff too. They keep in tablet of everything we're doing. But we can't let that, deter us from continuing our mission. We just have to be wise and smart in what we're doing. And the truth can't be stopped. This is like a like a 10-headed dragon. It's not just one person leading this truth. It's a whole bunch of people all over the place that's all promoting this truth on massive levels. So if we can reach people in Papua New Guinea, and Polynesia, Australia, Solomon Islands, in Congo, in Ghana, in Kenya, Mauritania, Senegal, and even North Africa, and all over the world, Europe and beyond. We need to reach the people in any way we can. And, we need to do that. And so, it's important that we stick together and we really operate as if we're united, we're a nation, and we're all about building and gathering the people there. So, that being said, you guys, I'm going to say my second shalom. I just put it in here because history is coming out, and the Europeans are revealing their involvement in history, in slavery, in Europe, Caribbean, America, South America, North America, even India, and South Africa. So it's all over the place. The Israelites scattered for 4 points, just like the Bible said. And pretty soon it's going to be the further reuniting of the two sticks. And hopefully our generations of children to come are going to be the ones that's going to continue to push this truth. Because we don't know the day of the time and the hour of the man is going to come, the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. And we just need to prepare ourselves. And if we don't live to see that day, we prepare our children for what's coming on this earth. And part of that is for them not to be deceived and to be in this truth. That's going to really help them survive in the long run. So again, shalom.
All right, fam. I wanted to share this video, and right here, I got it in my description of where you can go rent the video. All right, and share this to as many people as on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram if you have, but Facebook is better. Twitter, stuff, maybe LinkedIn, whatever. But share as many. You can text people the same video as well, right? Matter of fact, you can go to his website, his YouTube channel, and join him. Hebrews and Negros. That's the name of his YouTube channel. All right. Matter of fact, hold on one second. You still there? In my description box, I have I pasted copy these two websites. You can rent the movie here, but he has his own YouTube page. Of course he does because he's doing this. But Hebrews and Negros. All right. So join him, and then we just go from there, man. All right. Just I wanted to share this out. This video had to be out there. He talked to people, man. Nobody reached out to him. He talked to Phil from the Vibe show. He said he called Dr. Mumby. Nothing happened. And it's fine. We can do it ourselves. That's what we have right here on my channel, and just share it to everybody you know. Okay. I mean, you can honestly go to his channel, and the video is this one right here, the hour and 2 minutes. This is the video, and join his channel, and you know, and rent the movie, and look at it with some friends. Okay. All right, man. I want to share that with you. All right. Shalom, family. Shalom.